Welcome everyone to another game where we are casting the casters. And it might be a little offensive to call Nili a caster, so we're going to go ahead and say this is also professional player, GL team member, Age of Empires 4 professional, former Microsoft employee, tournament coordinator, legend of the game, Nili. Alright, this guy is somebody, if you've been around Age of Empires 2 or 4, you've run into this guy. You've seen this guy playing the game. You've seen this guy casting the game. He's at the events. He's tournament host of some of the biggest prize pool tournaments in the history of Age of Empires, in the recent history, especially of Age of Empires. Tournament organizer for a lot of the Red Bull tournaments, or at least contact. He's playing up against El Matador here on this mega random map. Now, this is a very unique map. It looks like the players have pretty much a normal allotment of resources, 2 boar, and your general amount of sheep, herdables, food, and your 3 deer. Everything looks pretty standard around the bases with wood lines, etc. But the players are on these little islands connected by a big shallows that also connects to the mainland. Only on this side, though. On the mainland, you see a lot more wood lines, a lot more space, and more gold dotted around and relics. In the water, the narrow waterways here, we have enough fish to make it worth fishing, but not enough to really invest. But really, if you don't have any water control, your opponent can use this shallows as a choke point and spread around. So I'm expecting to see some water play here. We have the Mongols up against the Cumans, so a battle of the nomadic civilizations here. Civilizations that, related from the steppes, Mongolia. The Cumans are kind of their counterparts. I think the Cumans are a descendant of the Mongol Empire, of a portion of it. We see Nili already coming out to drop a dock, not heading out to a mill, and on the other side, El Matador not quite doing the same thing just yet. Ooh. Alright. Sorry, my sound is very loud. That's what that exclamation was about. But it looks like it's fine for you guys. So, it's louder in my ears than it normally is. Nili dropping dock. El Matador not doing so just yet. Both players pushing in some deer. And bringing in their boar. Second boar in for both players. Very similar gameplay for each. Nili, though, does have quite a bit more on wood. El Matador, quite a bit more on food. El Matador is the Cumans in this matchup, so we'll be interested to see what he goes for. He's got the mill down, so not going for water control at all. An odd feature of this map is the players started with 4 little farms. That's a nice little thing for them. So we see divergence in play here as El Matador goes fully into land and Nili goes into water. Nili gonna wall this off. This is a very wallable section, and then he'll have to move woodline probably once archers come out from our Cuman player, which I would expect to come out with this woodline like it is. Just a couple archers to pressure that woodline, force the move, well worth it. Nili realizing not a lot of fish here. There's 1 deep fish and it's only a salmon. Is that it? There's 1 deep fish on this entire map. So fishing investment is largely a waste, but not completely. There is that deep fish. Nili finds that he hasn't yet, but if he does, he'll be able to use that. Nili just about to lose his scout here. And doink. Yeah, Nili's scout goes down to El Matador's scout, but Nili walled up. El Matador on the way to feudal age, so is Nili, about 15 to 20 seconds, about 20 seconds faster. Here is Nili. El Matador, we'll see what the play is for these 2 players when they get to the feudal age. Nili dropping down the barracks. Not going to be any sort of barracks play, I don't think, but no, certainly not. The barracks is pretty late here because you generally want the barracks up by the time you reach the feudal age. That way you can drop your next building. The barracks is also going to be pretty late for El Matador. Same situation. Nili in the feudal age. Barracks going to be up. We'll see what he heads into next. You wouldn't expect scouts on a map like this, if I'm honest. Doesn't seem like it'd make a lot of sense to me to go into scouts on a map like this. I think both players just going to be booming it up. Our Cuman player, of course, adding a second town center. Only 4 villagers. That's a little non-standard. The standard, I think, is normally about 8. Nili, nothing doing with the dock just yet. Still hasn't found the deep fish, but that's alright. He will eventually. It's on market. So Nili's going to be looking at heading up to Castle Age, it looks like to me. It's pulled off of gold completely, since he has the gold to get to the Castle Age. So we're going to see a feudal boom versus a fast castle. A few more villagers added. 6 now for El Matador on that town center. Now a blacksmith being added, interestingly enough. I'm wondering if perhaps Nili is going to try to hold this with water. Don't know, but he sold his stone to head on up. Well, the blacksmith is just to get up. Market, blacksmith, Castle Age on the cards here in just a few seconds for Nili, who does have a few seconds vital QC time, but with the fishing ship is 1 ahead in eco, and that fishing ship is making itself worthwhile. Castle Age on the way 2.5 minutes, but on that 2.5 minutes, we will see El Matador gaining quite a villager lead. Nili building a navy. I like the navy addition here because of how small this island is. There are going to be things in range of the water. Archer investment here for our Cuman player, as Nili heads out with a spearman. Don't know how the spearman got out exactly, unless the wall was deleted and rebuilt. Nili just going to be checking out what exactly he's up against, and I would love to see, honestly, just a defensive castle into Mangodai. Why not, you know? Or just a heavy water investment. Ooh, El Matador coming out to drop a dock. El Matador already 6 villagers up. It's amazing how fast that'll happen. However, nearly only a minute from the Castle Age. El Matador not even close to clicking up just yet. So we're going to see a lot of villagers trying to hold against Nili's pressure. And the question is, what will Nili choose to do? He narrows down this gap a little bit more. I like this. Adds a gate. So there's a hole here. And that's probably how the spearman got through. Spearman out scouting around. Just a few archers there for El Matador, who does have quite a population lead at the moment. Nearly 10 seconds off from Castle Age. Hasn't built any more production buildings. Doesn't seem to be going into anything. Hasn't recouped the gold, or the stone, sorry. I would love to see at this point, okay, it's going to be siege. He's going to siege pressure, immediate siege pressure. Is it going to be siege knights? Siege monk, just siege monk pressure. And El Matador, I'm going to be checking that out and noticing that. He'll see this happening. He knows what's up. Dock has been added by El Matador. A transport ship. Interesting. Why a transport ship? Is he going to head over here and drop another town center or something in Castle Age? Is he going to transport the archers around to the back of Nili's base? This ought to be interesting. Did not expect the transport ship to be coming out. This is pretty exciting stuff. Nili adding some fire ships. Fire galleys, I should say, to be more precise. Mangonel's on the way, so that siege is going to be pretty effective here. Nothing going to be able to hold up against that siege for El Matador just yet. He does have a scout. Nope. Yeah, he does have a scout that is at full HP. That scout can come into play. Transport ship is heading around to pick up the archers. So we are going to see a sneak archer play with fletching. Now, El Matador, 46 to 29 in the villager. The eco here. Now, there was a mistake made here. El Matador, you have made a mistake because you can only gather 5 of this in at a time. Oh my goodness. Why? What does he see that makes him think that's gonna work? He didn't realize maybe that that wasn't the right place. Anyway, he's across now and in. The fire ship is on the way though, so this transport is not long for this world. 10 archers are going to get in, but there is already a mangonel. 2 mangonels firing on the TC of El Matador, so this archer play better work, and I don't foresee it working that well. There's already a mangonel in defense. This archer's waltzing under the town center. 2 of them down. It's just not... It's not convincing me that it's going to work. Doesn't seem to be. And this town center, I don't see a way that this stays up either. This looks like a good play by Nili, seeing the weakness of this strategy. However, the eco difference is pretty unreal at the moment for El Matador. I wouldn't mind seeing even more stuff added by Nili. These archers still waltzing around looking for some damage, but that mangonel chasing them down. Market being dropped for El Matador. He wants to get up to Castle Age now. I believe this isn't a sustainable situation. Just spending enormous amounts of resources to repair this town center till the end of time, but more and more and more. More and more mangonels are going to be showing up. And yeah, I don't foresee anything going down here, especially there are spearmen and a tower. I'm not gonna hold it. Yeah, see, villagers going down. Uh-oh, Nili trapped in there by that villager, and his own military does go ahead and lose 1 mangonel. 2 mangonels gonna be going down for Nili, so this defense has actually worked out. No mangonels going down. Oh, wow. I thought 2 were going down for sure. Both rescued. Now, this villager's still alive, battering away. This tower already going down with a lot. Yeah, that tower already down. And somebody ought to poke that villager. She's on 4 hit points. Gets away. These archers still waltzing around Nili's base. Nili has to keep mangonels around, keep them honest. And, you know, these archers, I don't think they're still, you know, they might get a villager kill or 2. If you look at the eco KD, 7-0 at the moment. And the KD 13-8. Another tower added. El Matador only a minute from Castle Age now with a 53-37 eco lead, but this is such a tight, congested map. I can't imagine this working out. If this works out, Cuman's just look broken, but we'll see. This town center has to go down soon, does it not? Holding on, but spending an enormous amount of wood to make that happen. Well worth it for Nili, not so worth it for El Matador. That town center is down, but El Matador has reached the Castle Age. I'm assuming this whole time he was in that castle going to Castle Age, or that town. And 5 mangonels, I'm not going to be worried about a tower. Tower just going to go squish and down. Yeah, the villagers. You can't repair that, but that's not happening. 1 tower down, squish, and 2nd tower down. Siege Workshop has been added. Mangonel's on the way out now for El Matador. This is where the game gets spicy. Nili needs to be paying attention to this. I do think he is. Takes a hit, but doesn't lose any mangonels. Still got those 5 archers back there. Loses a mangonel. That's 1 for 0. The monks are out. The monks, I don't know if the Mongols have whatever research it is. A redemption? I think it's redemption. Don't know. Is Nili battering away at the town? Does lose a 2nd. Does he get the kill? No kill. No kill. 3rd one for El Matador. Nili's mangonel micro is looking bleak. With a 3-0 advantage, but now Nili has added more pikemen, which is odd, and a scorpion, which is also odd, I find. Now, these archers hanging out back here, they could be in danger. Maybe the scorpions to stay at home. Another one down for Nili. He's like a 5-to-1 trade. He finally takes one down. However, he's bringing the villager count back to a lot closer. The monks, Nili, the monks, Nili, the monks. Get sanctity, my dude. T90 harps on about this non-stop. You gotta get sanctity. Nili losing villagers at home now to those archers. This is awkward for Nili. It's got 2 mangonels firing on this one from El Matador. Can he get it? Now, these archers are, yeah, they can't really micro around quite as easily. Nili continuing to punch down villagers, but that little raid at the back of his base has left him still 10 villagers behind. He's continuing to push in so powerfully, though, but still El Matador wrecking him in these mangonel trades. And, Nili. I still like his position, let's be clear. Still like his position, it's been pretty harmful. It's been pretty rough. And the Spearman edition really hasn't made a lot of sense to me, except the Spearmen do take care of the danger of a few cavalry coming in and taking care of everything. Now, where's the Scorpion? Oh no, Nili. Continuing to lose villagers back at home. This is getting messy for Nili. Gets a trade, gets some nice kills in here. Nili still closing in on the villager numbers, killing way more than he's losing, and killing more than can be created by El Matador. El Matador actually losing villagers overall. Nili slowly gaining, but ever so slowly. And another town center is up here for El Matador, but there's no more space. El Matador's out of space, like, and out of gold mines. Yeah, El Matador is out of space, out of gold mines, has 1 woodline. Nili, yeah, beautiful play by Nili, adding the water. This is where the water comes into play, and Nili has water control. Adding galleys, he could even upgrade to war galley, and he's just firing away freely upon the entire eco of El Matador, and Nili continuing to lose mangonels. These mango trades have been pretty horrible. I would love to see him actually add a step lancer or 2, a few step lancers. Step lancers do a lot of damage to siege and stuff because of, you know, that early pokey poke. Gotta give props to El Matador. The siege at micro has been incredible. Nili, though, still controlling more of the map. El Matador does have a gold mine accessible to him now. Nili has cleaned up these archers finally. Let's add a stable now. Add a stable and start pushing forward. What I would love to see. And you're just sitting here on top of the eco. Nili has waltzed out and is now building a town center out on the open land. And finally gets a positive trade. Now the ecos were pretty bad there for the, sorry, the HP was pretty bad. Nili could add more. I think he's looking at maybe trying to take an eco lead now, but that's not, I really want to see, oh, he has no food eco, okay, makes sense. I was gonna say, I really want to see some step lancers. That would change everything here. The Mongol step lancer is a pretty tasty unit, to be honest. Pretty tasty. Now El Matador, he's going to be dropping a castle soon. And where does that castle drop happen? That's the question. Can Nili hold on? Oh, nice shot by Nili. Can he hold this central position and keep El Matador on his own island? Or is El Matador going to get across and drop the castle on Nili's island? What exactly is going to happen there? We have yet to see that. Well microed by Nili with this awkward little spot. And a 1-for-1 trade there. It's getting better for Nili. The mangonel micro getting much better. He is still sitting around with these units. Second town center down for Nili, but he is 9-8 villagers behind, getting horse color. I still like his position. The score agrees with me, but big part of that's probably the KD, the map explored, things like that, as Nili does have a pretty big advantage there. He's been gathering relics. Nili does not forget the little details. He's a great strategic player. It's the micro and some of the gameplay elements that get him. His strategies tend to be pretty good. Pressure is a problem for Nili. And I like the strategy that he's chosen here, as Nili does have a little bit of a, navy out here. Oh, he's gonna, no, continuing to take out villagers when he gets a chance. Not only going for the siege, but squishing villagers. Now only 5 villagers behind, and a 1-for-1 trade there. But only 5 villagers behind, and I like these houses. They give Nili visibility here, and I'm assuming he's got, the town watch or town watch upgrade. And Nili expanding pretty heavily outside, in the outer part of the map. I like that as well. I think that's a wise thing to do, given the situation of these tiny little islands that are gonna, run out of space eventually. Gonna have 3 town centers. Gonna have an advantage here is Nili and Eco very soon. Now, El Matador, one of the main resources available to him is stone. He has 1 billion villagers on stone, and here comes the castle drop. And that's really what Nili would want to see. A castle drop on El Matador's own island is great. Now, El Matador doesn't have any siege at this exact moment, and Nili does. So Nili's gonna be able to... Ooh. Slow that castle down, but El Matador just goes ahead and calls it. The villager lead does finally turn over to Nili. And well pressured by Nili with that great KD ratio. With a bigger army high. The eco barely in favor of El Matador, essentially even, which is a great thing. If you're up against the Cumans and you can make the eco even, that's great because the eco investment has been so much greater for the Cuman. Society stats, you can see max villagers in favor of El Matador, but go to military. Actually, we'll have to go back into the game. I'll show you the final vill count. And APM, you can see why. Wow. What? You can see why Nili was having trouble with these micro battles. My goodness. 125 APM for El Matador? No way. Now let's check the villager. Eco KD 33 to 7. That was a big difference there. But 125 to 60 the APM. I hope you enjoyed this game. As we've casted the caster, the legend of the game, Nili. If you did enjoy, leave a like. If you want to see more, subscribe. If not, that's fine. We'll see you in the next one.